departments, things like that.
Okay, all right.
I'll be out there at 2 in the morning.
All right, not too close. You got to be able to be heard on the microphone, so.
Yeah, we're like waiting for I got cameras all over the place because.
We are now live streaming.
But I just want to say hi. Thanks for everything you guys done. Thank you.
What is it? What is it?
It's a side.
More research? Okay. Okay. Decide that right now?
Yes. Thank you.
Sure. You tell Diane?
I will tell her right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I want to make sure.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so now we have 21 resolutions and one suspended resolution.
At least she could have got it like 7:50. I think that might get some. Yeah.
I wonder if it's appropriate for me to come in a suit coat and flip flops.
9. Yeah, 5 with DOT. 5 with DOT, 9 with EDC.
Hey, what happened to my gavel, actually?
Yeah, 9.
You're the assistant, huh?
I don't know, they may.
Okay, welcome to the Town of Lancaster work session for 9/3/2024. We're going to have 2 developer presentations here in just a minute, but before we get to those, I just want to make sure we take care of some old business, which was the Indus Hotel portfolio from Wood Springs Suites Architecture. You guys remember that one? Mm-hmm. The one we had the last time?
Yes.
Does anybody have any problems with that moving forward to the planning board?
No.
No.
Okay, all right, so I'll let them know. They can take that one to the planning board, and that takes care of that. All right, so we have 2 people here, hopefully 2 people. Chris Strang from Seibel Modern Manufacturing. Step up, sir, and give us your presentation. And hold your sign up high, like you said.
Good evening, everybody. I am with Kovacs Construction, okay?
Okay.
Representing Seibel Modern. Seibel Modern, as you know, 38 Palmer Place, welding,
Yep.
light manufacturing facility. They outgrew their property, so they have purchased a 9-acre parcel on Cemetery Road between Apple Rubber and the Heritage Trail. Okay, so cemetery here, we've got Apple, we've got the Heritage Trail up here. This is an 80,000 square foot pre-engineered metal building, light manufacturing facility. Got about 7,200 feet of ancillary space, office, locker room, and break room. kind of your standard manufacturing facility. It's got a lot of great doors, a lot of parking for the employees, low dock. So that's what it looks like. I mean, if you were, this is cemetery, and the Heritage Trail crosses right here. This is kind of the view from cemetery, okay? It is, like I said, single-story pre-engineered metal building. So there's a main plant, 450 feet by 160 feet, 29 feet high at the gutter. And then, like I talked about, the secondary spaces, 5,000 feet of office, and about 2,800 square feet of men's locker room, women's locker room, and a break room for the plant employees. So that's kind of our deal. We've got standard metal building materials, corrugated metal panel. We've got a masonry wainscot, 3'4" around the entire perimeter of the whole facility. The office has a cultured stone, 3'4" wainscot for a little nicer look. It's got some architectural infills in between the windows. Colors, haven't really selected, but it's going to be something light, like probably a fox gray they call it, as opposed to like a dark green or dark red. It's not going to be that. So fairly neutral. Colors for the infill between the windows, I typically like to use. It's like a simulated wood product, like a hardy plank, in a walnut or an oak to give it a little pop. But again, it could be a corrugated architectural panel. We're kind of up in the air. The siding likes the way I got it, and I labeled it wood siding, so they're cool with it. So. But that's pretty much it. Any questions?
Is there or will there be a buffer between the building and Heritage Trail, tree buffer?
There is. That came up in one of the receipt responses. Okay, the road, the access road. This is our Heritage Trail up here. Okay, so we come in. This is an access road that takes us back around the building. We loop around the building back to employee parking. There is a required setback here of 10 feet. We've hit that mark. Any natural vegetation from our property line to that road will remain, and anything from the property line to the paved trail will remain. So there is quite a buffer there.
Okay.
It did come up. Maybe you could move it down a little bit. Give a little more. Which I'm kind of in a little pinch play right here. Okay, this is a small wetland area. So this is a 9-acre parcel. There's a very small wetland which we have to stay out of. We can't go down that road. Okay, that pushes you out in another year. So if my engineer Andy Atrito could make it come down another, it could maybe go 5 feet only. But I think it's substantial. Predicated. I mean, my office is right here, so I know it well. But
I prefer people on Heritage Trail not to be flanked by.
well, they're going to have a 450-foot wall of.
Right.
But I mean,
Trees.
it's a long trail. It's really short. Really on your, go by on your bike fast.
There is, yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
There's-
split it up.
There is vegetation.
Yeah.
There's a substantial buffer, right?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, there is on both sides. I know there is on my side because I can't see the trail from our property.
It looks dumb, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you know what? We've got, I didn't bring a landscape plan, but Andy's got a bunch of trees all over. I mean, I'm talking about a lot of trees.
Yeah.
It should be nice. It's a nice fit. It's an L1 use. It's an L1 zone parcel, so we're excited. We're going to be before the planning board tomorrow. So we got onto that agenda, and Sibyl's ready to move, and they really want to keep going, so that's what I'm here to do, help them get to where they need to be.
Any more questions from the board? No. Move forward?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go right ahead. Thank you very much.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Chris Wood for Holman Asphalt.
Good evening. Anthony Pandolfi with Carmina Wood Design, project engineer. For a proposed, it's a dome structure enclosure at Thoman Asphalt on Gunville Road. The purpose of the building is to enclose their topsoiling operation so that it is entirely enclosed. The existing structure that's already there will remain. That'll be for storage, and then the new structure will go right adjacent to that. It's 65 by 80 feet wide, about 26 feet tall. Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we will need a special use permit for this. So what we're looking for is to move forward with the planning board with site plan and special use permit.
Okay, where is that located again?
70 Gunville Road.
It's across from the raceway, basically.
Okay.
Right up along the, almost along the thruway, right?
What's that?
You're along the thruway there, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good? Yeah.
Say you have a great construction site. Your trucks are all.
That's him right there.
Ever seen anybody that does that? Perfect.
Any questions, Melissa?
No, I was just trying to look it up.
Look it up. We'll give you a minute to look it up.
Probably. It's giving me directions and stuff.
Giving it to you.
Not giving me that, no, okay. I know what the area is, so, no more questions. I just wanted to actually see it, but it wasn't working, so.
Okay. I have no issues with it. Think we're good?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go around to the department heads and see what's going on in each of the different departments. And tonight I'm going to start with Diane because I skipped her the last meeting. So Diane, what do you got?
Not
You
much.
might want to pull it.
Town clerk and tax office are looking forward to the next tax season. We should be getting our bills within the week. We never know exactly when. We have to get the warrant from the Erie County legislators, and then we'll get it to the residents hopefully by the 15th of September and due October 15th. And if anybody has any questions, please call the office. We really encourage paying with the Dropbox. We've had a lot of trouble with the US mail. So we have the Dropbox, we have in-person, we have the website, and lastly, we have the US Post Office. Thank you.
Thank you. Ed?
Well, let me see. Walden Pond Turf, they got the award. They're just putting together a contract that that follows the required form for who do we use for that? I forget the source we use for that. Sourcewell, sorry.
Sourcewell. Sorry.
Using the Sourcewell form, we should have that. Rick said we should have that tomorrow.
And is it fair to say that it's probably going to be late fall, probably not interfering with
Yeah.
most of the football games or
Yeah, I
anything?
talked to Bruce today, and football should be fine. They probably won't get in there to start anything until late fall, to start clearing and stuff, and then the bulk of the construction will be early spring.
Okay.
Library renovations are underway. I think the demo is done, so they're off and running. The two things I wanted to bring up. One was Brunk Road paving. When we did the bonding for the water line on Brunk and Siebert, we included language in there for road reconstruction. And now that the water line work is pretty much done, and the water line work will be coming in about $250,000 under what was awarded. To pave, to mill and pave Brunk is about $305,000. So what ends up being needed is a $54,000 change order, and you get all of Brunk paved. Because it was never part of the original bid.
Okay.
Yeah, the paving was never part of the original bid.
All right. So the letter you sent to me was what? The
That-
return of the
Yeah.
200 something
There's a
thousand?
$250,000 deduct for the water line work.
Okay,
So you take that amount of money, you add about 50,000 to it, and that covers all the milling and paving for Brunk.
so we're gonna need another 50,000.
Correct. Now, bond-wise, the bonding amount for that project was a little over 3 million. And with the paving, you'd be about 2.1 million. So you're still well under the bond cap. So actually, there's been some discussion with John lately, do we want to look at doing Seabird also? Because Seabird had water line work done as well. We can do Seabird for about 300,000, which would require a change order, but you would still be 500,000 or 600,000 under the bond amount when you're all said and done.
Okay, but again, if the board wants to, we'll make that decision.
Correct.
But it's a discussion that should be had with Nick Swanson as well, because again.
I
you
did
don't-
talk, I
you don't-
talked to Nick this morning about where we were number-wise.
Okay,
And so that's what I'm saying, there's plenty of money in the bond. And so it's just a matter of, does the board want to go ahead and do the milling and paving on Brunk and do the milling and paving on Seabird? And the only thing we would leave off of Seabird is the area right at the culvert. The culvert they'll take care of that. But that would get you Brunk and Seabird, all new water and mill and paved.
okay, and we can let you know this week sometime, or?
Yeah, the contractors are available to move, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you send us an email with all the numbers in there?
I'll take the one I did and I'll add Seabird to it now.
Okay.
'Cause I just got those numbers today. And the other issue that came up, we talked briefly, was the historic building next door. The side entrance on this side, on the back, there's 2 columns. The bottom of those columns are rotted. We got 2 proposals. One was about 9,000 to replace them, or no, I'm sorry, 9,000 to repair them. Or we can replace them with fiberglass because it is a portion of the building that is not historic, for 5,500. Otherwise, their A1 construction is pretty much done with the building.
What's the fiberglass cost?
5,500 to take out. And
Just so to replace them with fiberglass would be 5,500?
yes,
Otherwise, it's 9,000.
Yeah.
if you wanted to fix
So-
them, it'd be about 9,000.
Yeah, Carmen was gonna reach out and try to find other prices on this one,
Yep.
just to make sure.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
again, if you find anything the next couple of days, let us know, so the board can make a decision on it. Everybody,
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Everybody good with that?
Yeah, pass that by me,
All right.
Carmen. I'll take care of that resolution when we come to
That's
it.
it.
Great, thank you. Matt?
Well, we're at the beginning stages of converting in the autumn season here, and we're beginning preparations on having some public outreach on analyzing and identifying some deficiencies in private buildings, commercial buildings. So we're still working hard on all the summer construction work, the inspections, the permitting, and all the other enforcement actions. We're pretty close to a hire, from what I can understand.
Good.
We've exhausted the civil service list. We're just dotting the i's and crossing the t's with Erie County to make sure that we're moving forward properly. And we're looking forward to the coming season. We're going to get through their budget season. Hopefully we'll request what's permitted here by this board to help us along in our functions here. That's about it.
Okay, thank you. John? Good, thanks.
I got a picture here for you. Actually, all you guys. Just wanted to show you, we're pretty proud of the island reduction.
Oh, very
Came
cool.
out really, really nice.
Love it.
That's it, we have Cody.
Do you have any pictures of the softball game?
Are you digging me? I might have a few. I'm still hurting from that, Bob. So as you can see, we just completed that island reduction at Via Tripodi. We scaled it back about 20 feet, reformed that front concrete curb, and then removed, or that was removed, and then we fixed the road. A new sign's going to be installed by Parks and Rec, hopefully this fall. The feedback from the residents was overwhelming. They're super happy with it. So are we. Highway Department's going to be helping out Carmen and the new building department on some projects at some town-owned buildings. We intend to schedule paving and concrete work at mental health, dog control, and town hall this month. We'll get with Carmen on that. Our striping crew just finished up, is pretty much done for the season. They're finishing up on Panora Street right now. They've done an outstanding job. And as always, our remote mowers out, cutting down cattails, and grapplers out. Small trucks are out for brush, and like you heard me earlier, we're just going to get ready for winter pretty soon, hanging plows. If I can say anything to the board regarding what Ed was talking about Brunk Road, I'm a heavy advocate to get that done for those people down there. They've been through a lot. That road has been a mess. That whole area has been a mess with Siebert, with the culvert. Now the road is just, it's a disaster. So I would love nothing more than to get that done for them this year. Okay? Thanks.
Thank you. Bruce?
Good evening, Honorable Town Board. Bruce Stutz, Parks, Recreation, Forestry. A couple highlights on the park side. We mentioned Heritage Trail earlier. We're improving the entrances. That goes along with, we replaced all the islands last year. So we're dedicating more time on the Heritage Trail, definitely this time of year before the hunting season starts. On the football, if you've been around Walden Pond Park on Saturdays, it's a couple thousand people there on Saturday. So if you're looking for some good action, youth football, Saturdays over at Walden Pond Park. Field's looking good.
Could you do, apparently there was somebody, one of the fire chiefs was there. Could you make sure somebody's there to direct people where to park so there's enough room should fire truck or something have to get in there?
Yeah.
Again, I wasn't there, I don't know, but that's what I heard. So.
Okay, we'll address that for sure.
Okay, great.
On the recreation side, we're finishing up our summer programs. So the last ones, we still have a couple weeks of cornhole left on Monday nights. It seems like it's been raining every Monday night. And another rain date is Wednesdays. So our men's softball league championships are tomorrow. So we have an A, a B, and a C division. Those are tomorrow at Walden Pond Park. Our fall programs that'll be starting up will be basketball, fall tennis, wrestling, Tuesday basketball. We got the swim lessons, indoor tennis, volleyball. So we're planning those programs out, and those will be scheduled shortly. On forestry side, we're going to be starting our tree surveys for our fall planting. Also, we've consistently had a 2-person crew out pruning and doing removals on trees. So we're keeping on top of those. We're turning our work orders over usually the same week now, where there was a long delay in the past. And consistently, last 3 weeks, we've been sending out a stump grinding crew for stumps, about 3 to 4 people, 2 or 3 days a week, so on the forestry side. So any questions, or?
No.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, yep.
Chief?
Kind of sticking with the theme, we're between us and dog control, we're actively working with Nick on putting together budgets for next year. We've been working pretty hard. Nick's been a valuable resource to get in touch with, providing us some really good information on how to properly put the money in the right budget lines for next year. I don't really have anything for police department. I will give you the monthly report for dog control. For the month of August, they had 32 complaints received, plus 22 additional referred to DCO cards that were addressed. 32 calls responded to. 25 compliance notices were given. 1 bite report filed. 5 dogs were redeemed. 2 transferred over to the SPCA, and 1 dog euthanized due to being highly aggressive.
And 1 dog went to my daughter, who was watching
Yes.
it for a while.
Yeah, I believe
So I can take it back.
Officer Greco reported that also two dogs were adopted out over the course of that month, so.
She's just fostering it for a while, so.
Keep saying it.
Yeah. Thank
Any
you.
questions?
Been a year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Carmen? Should actually say I'm walking that dog on a daily basis.
Well, we got some squirrels for you to walk.
I saw
I don't know if- Yeah, I don't know if anyone noticed, we do have a couple squirrels living in the building that were, well, he's playing tricks on us. Working on a couple things. Checked the library. Library's pretty demoed. You can have them. I took some pictures of that for you guys. We got some cars at auction for police. We got a bill for the elevator at the library, which I got them to give us covered under warranty, which is about $1,500. And another service call that they went out there. They're going to split it with us because it was partly our fault with a resident holding the door open. So that's only cost us about $177. The lights will be in the week of the 16th for the big project in the town. We had the speed bumps that came in for the senior center. I'm going to work with Matt because there's some codes I guess we have to follow on speed bumps. I'm putting them on town property. Looking into 2 new vans, one for the youth bureau for state contract and one for dog control. And what else do we have going on? John's working great with us on the projects for getting blacktop. So resolution 8 is for funds to cover the cost for blacktopping and concrete. The lights, I'm switching on the clock tower this week, and if you guys don't mind, I was thinking about putting the colors red and blue for bills for the time
Now you're
being.
looking at me funny.
Huh?
All right.
There'll be Wi-Fi, so I can change it at any time via phone. So we're gonna have to do that. Bruce is gonna give me a couple guys. We're gonna go on the bucket truck. I'm gonna go and try to fix this gutter back here, and then I told him I'll go with them and kind of spot them and make sure they're trained in the bucket truck to cut a tree down. I got 3 agreements that are going to be coming in for the elevators for police, town hall, and the library that are going to be due contracts. So once I get them, I will give them to Bob and the attorney's office to review them. See if we need more quotes. We can try to call a couple other places and get quotes. Any questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Ron?
Good evening, everyone. Update on LVAC. Unfortunately, we really haven't seen any improvements since this all started back at the beginning of July. The town attorney did send a letter to LVAC and forwarded it on to their attorney, notifying them we believe they're in breach of contract. We got a reply to that. It's kind of a convoluted reason they gave why they don't think they're in violation of it when it comes to staffing and the number of ambulances that are supposed to be available. And then 2 or 3 other sections that were addressed that they're in violation of, their attorney didn't even address those. So it's a work in progress. Numerous conversations with the supervisor and the town attorney. And we think our best plan for the town moving forward, their contract expires at the end of this year. So we think the best plan moving forward is put together an RFP, send it out and, to all the ambulance services in the area and see what else is out there. Not that we're against LVAC, but we're just not getting what our contract calls for. So we need to see what else is available. Even if after the RFP we were to continue to go with LVAC, it gives the town the ability to write into the contract then more oversight, more reporting requirements, and just to hold whoever we were to give the contract to more accountability. That's about it on LVAC. The fire contracts expire at the end of this year. I had a brief discussion with the supervisor and Nick from the budget office. So I know Nick is working on some numbers, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to come up with a pretty fair and equitable, solution to that. I know the fire companies are going to come back with examples of just how crazy price increases have been for the equipment that they use. And especially when it comes to new training requirements through OSHA and NFPA, and not just the training requirements, but they put requirements on replacement of gear. It's almost to the point that it's unreasonable, but if they do end up passing it, it's something that we're going to have to follow. So that's about it. Any questions?
Nope.
No?
Thank you.
Keep you informed. Thank you.
Nick?
Good evening, Nick Swanson, Director of Administration and Finance. Just to piggyback off of what everybody else has been saying, working hard on the budget. I think we're going to have a very good budget this year. We're leaving no stone unturned, not overturned. Messed that up this morning. We're going through everything. We need to effectively allocate our resources. We have finite resources being a municipal government. So the best way to effectively allocate them is to really take a deep dive into what we're spending our money on, our contracts that we're in, what we plan to bring in. Every department head has been very helpful and collaborative with me. It's great working with everybody. And then on the other side of that, working on 3 grants, administering the grants. The CDBG grant is moving along finally. The New York Forward grant, Ed put me in touch with somebody to administrate that grant. And then the EECBG, which is the lighting project, there's a lot of reporting that's coming up that's due for that. And then other than that, month-end close, August will be closed by September 13th. Budget reports to follow ahead of the September 16th board meeting. Any questions?
No, but we are going to, if people are not aware, for the New York Forward money, we have to put that money out first. So it's $1.156 million, and then the state will reimburse us on that. Yep. So we're working on that, and we have a plan, and we'll talk to the board about that plan and see if they agree. Go from there. And the contracts with the fire contracts also, we took a look at that. We'll talk to the board about that and make some recommendations in that area. So be talking to you in the next couple of days to take care of those and see what you think. Okay?
Yep, things are progressing very well on the budget side of things.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we got 2 minutes. I'm not going anywhere until we start the...
I forgot to say thank you to Nick for helping with the budget. And Michelle's been helping us with the figures for Blacktop. We've been changing it a lot. Going through it and kind of on our lap. New figures, but she's been doing a lot of helping us with the figures for concrete and which might change again.
Okay. So again, we'll have new numbers as soon as you guys come up with them for the board.
The plan is finalized.
Yeah. Okay, great. For the board to take a look at. Okay. And that took a minute, so we got 1 more minute.
35 seconds.
But who's counting?
Can I get a question, Bruce?
Question, Bruce, about what?
Softball. He ran the team.
Oh, man. We should probably announce that the police department won our softball tournament, beating the highway and the rec department, so.
I think it was a pitcher by 2.
By 2. It was close.
Who was the pitcher?
Who tripped on the mound?
Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Town of Lancaster Town Board meeting for September 3rd, 2024. Diane, roll call, please.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Here.
Councilmember Dickman. Councilmember Schroeder.
Here.
Councilmember Studley.
Here.
Supervisor Leary.
Here. And tonight, our pledge and invocation is by Councilmember Schroeder. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing.
I'd like to offer this invocation this evening. God, grant to the living grace, to the departed rest, to the nation peace and accord, to us, all your servants, the light to guide us on our way, courage and support us, and please continue to bless and unite us in service to you and this great country. Amen.
Amen. Okay, this evening, we will have 21 resolutions. Number 9 was pulled at this point, tabled at this point. 21 regular resolutions and 1 suspended resolution. We have no public hearings tonight, no executive sessions. We close in memory of Mrs. Francis Bartosik. She worked for the town for 20 years, retired in 1986. She started as a clerk typist in the supervisor's office and was promoted to bookkeeper in that office in 1975. Okay. So, at this time, persons wanting to address the town board on any of the pre-filed or suspended resolutions only, and I should say the suspended resolution is a new hire for the town clerk's office. It's for a part-time position, and we'll be bringing one person on board to fill. My secretary came from the town clerk's office to replace her in the town clerk's office. One clerk working at a pay rate of $21.85 an hour. So let's go back to persons addressing the town board who want to on any of the regular resolutions or the suspended resolutions. We'll give you an opportunity for 30 minutes. The procedure will be raise his or her hand and be recognized by the supervisor. Give his or her name and address to the town clerk. Speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided up here at the podium. And speak once for 5 minutes or less, unless the town board grants a speaker an extension of the time limit. So do we have anybody in the audience who wants to be heard of any of the pre-filed resolutions or suspended resolutions? Yes, sir.
May I sit, Supervisor? May I sit?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I will be speaking on number 5. And whereas with Resolution 5, with due respect, Town Board meeting on 19th August of 2024 regarding the subdivision must be heard. This resolution the following resolution was offered by Supervisor Leary. There's a copy, you had it. Here's a copy when I started want to find all the legal definitions and the words in the said document. This is it. Within that, there was over 102 legal words that was in that legal document. I know it's a legal document because the town attorney told me so, Jennifer Strong, when I asked her. I will only be bringing up certain items in this said document that you just seen. With SBL number 116.00-2-24.1. Next column, whereas Town Code of the Town of Lancaster, Chapter 438H8, filing of final plat, any subdivision plat not so filed or recorded within 90 days of the date upon which such plat is approved or considered approved by reason of failure of the town board to act shall become null and void unless the particular circumstances of said applicant warrants the town board to grant an extension which shall not exceed 2 additional periods of 90 days. Such an extension must be applied for in writing to the town board within 30 days of the expiration of the approval, and whereas no such document was received requesting an extension and no such extension was granted by the town board. And further down, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby rescinds the final plan approved of the Field Stream subdivision, and be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. In the vote, council members Burkhardt, Dickman, and Stully voted no. Council member Schroeder voted yes, and Supervisor Leary voted yes. Going to 19th of August 2024 at the town board meeting at 7:00 p.m., knowing that the town board received from the town's clerk's office all relevant information on the Thursday before the Monday town board meeting. With that, any council member with questions is able to not just research what's before them, but to get in contact with the supervisor, town attorney, or department heads, particularly with matters, questions before the town council members. Do you read what the clerk's office sends you? That's a question that people have asked me to ask. Do you read it? Now, with the Chapter 1 general provisions of Article Adoption of Code, it reads, -11, legislative intent in accordance with subdivision 3 of section 20 of the municipal home rule law, the local laws, ordinances, and certain resolutions of the town of Lancaster is codified by general code and consisting of chapters 1 through 400, including any and all attachments shall be known collectively as the code of the town of Lancaster, hereafter termed the town code. Within this general provisions, going to 1-9 penalties for tampering with town code. Any person who alters or tampers with the town code in any manner whatsoever which will cause any person who alters or tampers with the town code in any manner whatsoever which will cause the legislation of the town of Lancaster to be misrepresented thereby, or who violates any other provision of this local law, shall be guilty of an offense and shall, upon conviction thereof, be subject to a fine of not more than $250 or imprisonment for a term of not more than 15 days or both. Lastly, on last two ones, 1-11, incorporation of provisions into town code. The provisions of this local law are hereby made Article 1 of Chapter 1 of the Town Code, such local law to be entitled General Provisions, Article 1, Adoption of Code, end quote. And the sections of this local law shall be numbered 1-1 through 1-13 exclusive. And then lastly, 1-13, when effective, this local law shall be effective immediately upon filing with the New York Secretary of State. I am getting that now to the meat of my...
Okay, you're at 5 minutes, so if you could wrap it up quickly.
I like to. Could someone give me minutes? Thank you.
Okay, we have another 5 minutes for you.
And that article, adoption of code, an article is a legal rule that can be sent out under a statute, a code, or a paragraph in a legal document. Then in the same subject matter, it says rule. In general, rule is any standard principle or norm that guides conduct. Thus, any factual situation calling for a decision might be thought of as raising two questions. First, what rules apply to these facts? Second, which decision should be made if those rules are to be followed? And then ordinance, that's in the same. An ordinance is a law or decree by a municipality, a local law. What happened on that day, I was watching the video, was with the three council members. The oath of office, an oath of office is a promise made by an individual. They will uphold and fulfill certain requirements and obligations of a position that they were either elected or appointed to. What discouraged me is the breaking of, without doubt, I spoke to many people on this fact, that the three council members actually did break the law. Whatever you want to call it, it was done. Because it's written on a legal document. And then I will now sadly say this. Whereas I asked Town Attorney Jennifer Strong for official investigation, knowing on the 19th of August 2024, resolution number 15 SBL number period 116 period 00-2-24 period 1, Town Code of the Town of Lancaster, Chapter 400-38H8, that Town of Lancaster Council members Burkhardt, Dickman, and Studley violated the, quote, Town Code, Municipal Home Rule Law, local law, and ordinances, end quote, subjecting their conduct to official misconduct. That's towards, I'm asking for an investigation of that moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to be heard on the pre-filed? Mr. Larigo, come on up.
Thank you. So my name is Ralph Larigo. My office is 101 Slade Avenue. What this gentleman just said, and I have all the respect for him to say what he said, but legally that's not correct. This town has its own home rule. This board makes that rule, and this board has the ability to extend the time frames at any point it desires. Now here's the way I look at it. This is a subdivision that went through your full process, and it got approved. It went through an expensive process. It's very costly, it's time consuming, but it went through and you approved it. The fact that it wasn't filed within 90 days is a technicality. I was with the planning coordinator from the town of Orchard Park today. Theirs is 1 year. You have to build within 1 year. So everybody has different types of requirements, but here is the bottom line. Here's the thing that I think is very important for the board to consider. This is a 40-unit subdivision with homes that will sell at $600,000 apiece. That means this is $24 million that's added to your tax base. So I've preached for a long, long time. The only way to keep taxes at some reasonable level in your towns is you have to increase your tax base. We all know that costs go up, salaries go up, you have expenses that arrive. The only way to keep your taxes in check is to expand your tax base in some reasonable fashion. This is an approved subdivision. This is a technicality for the 90 days. I've been doing this for 50 years at this point, and I've done a great deal of zoning. And I can tell you from my experience that if this board were to turn it down, that in my opinion, you will lose in a court battle. But again, what surprises me is you had this vote. The motion lost 3-2. I don't know that you have the legal ability to put it on a second time in the same couple of weeks. You had the resolution, it was voted on, everybody, spoke on it, and now you want to do it a second time. And Bob, I have the greatest respect for you. But what I'm also told is there's a conservation easement that you're going to vote on today. That conservation easement, you could have signed 150 days ago, and you didn't sign it. You delayed. And so the delays come about. They happen. And in this situation, it's because of engineering. It's because of a lot of things that are not necessarily in the control of the developer who spent a great deal of money to do it. So what I want you to concentrate on is the $24 million worth of tax base that would be added to this town with $600,000 houses. A $600,000 house pays well more than the expenses that a town has to incur to take care of that house. And what I've always believed in terms of zoning is that development precedes infrastructure. So I know, Bob, that you want to make sure that you have enough police and fire and, protection for all these homes. But development always precedes infrastructure. So it's the $24 million worth of tax base that will give this town the ability to hire more police, to hire more fire, to do the things that are necessary. And so I ask that the resolution be denied. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else want to be heard on this matter?
Good evening again, Jeff Palumbo, on behalf of Mr. Capretto, resolution number 5. Just want to expand a little bit on what Ralph just said. with respect to the repeat of the resolution that's on tonight's agenda. The New York administrative law and Robert's rule are very clear that the losing party, which was the Mr. Leary, Supervisor Leary's on that side because it was his resolution, does not have the ability to bring it up at the next meeting. It has to be somebody who voted in favor of it, and that did not happen here. So this resolution is out of order, period. It cannot be voted on this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else want to be heard on other? Yes, sir.
Kevin Leemaster, 720 Schwartz. I've been coming to meetings for over 30 years. The boards in the past have turned around and gone with the developers. I'm not saying this development isn't a good one. It is. Unfortunately, nobody's planning on what's going on with water. At my house right now at 3:30 today, I tested it in my basement right off the meter. I'm getting 42 pounds of water. It's before these houses came in. Before they put the pumps in, the developers had free reign. They developed all up and down William Street. At one point, I had 11 pounds of water at my house. They had to put pumps in. My neighbors could not get water to their second floor to use their showers. We have pumps. Even with the pumps, I'm only at 42. Recommended is 45 to 60. I've never hit anything over 50 pounds. I don't even think I've gotten close to 50 pounds, even with the pumps. So when you start looking at developers, I really wish you would look at where you're going and supplying to me. I've been here. These are new homes. Granted, people want to move here. But the infrastructure's got to be looked at first, and you got to look at the residents you're already servicing. Otherwise, you might as well just pack it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else want to be heard on the pre-filed or the suspended resolution? Okay, seeing no other hands. At this point, I'm bringing back resolution number 5 because there was additional information that I'm not sure the other town board members received. That's why I'm bringing it forward. I had discussions with the town attorney, Jennifer Strong, and basically she sent out an email this afternoon explaining the rules involved in this, and we're trying to follow town code. That's basically what we're doing. It's our job to follow town code. That's what we're here for. That's what we're going to do. We'll put it back up and make sure the town board is aware of everything that occurred. And Emily, if you care to comment at this time, since Jennifer is not here, regarding what we found.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Mr. Lee, I hear everything you're saying. Call it a technicality, but it is clearly written into our code that it needs to be started within 90 days. So the fact that we didn't receive any application for an extension within that time period, call it technicality, but it's a technicality that's in our code here very clearly, and the board has all the information they need to vote on this tonight.
It's been denied.
Pardon me?
It's been denied already.
The last time it was on the agenda, the board was not aware of the chain of emails that had gone back and forth, and so that information is now provided to them, and they're all...
That just simply isn't true. That is not true. The supervisor had the emails and read from them. If you want to be accurate, please be accurate. What you're saying right now is not accurate. This has been denied.
I can tell you that after that meeting, there were further discussions, and we all looked through additional emails to see what else was corresponded between the developer and any of the offices here, and that is why we have it back on the agenda, because we did see additional emails.
The minutes reflect the vote was 3-2 against the resolution. So that's a denial. You're going to do what you're going to do, but that is a denial. And to bring it up at the next meeting, in my opinion, is totally improper.
Thank you. And again, nobody else wanted to be heard from the audience on any pre-filed resolution or the suspended resolution. Okay, all right, we're going to move forward. Any town board members have any official reports?
I have a bunch.
Okay.
All right. Some of them are maybe not full reports, but I was going to add just some information. Carmen kind of took away my library report, but thank you. The construction at the library has started, and as we saw pictures earlier, it looks like it's they've got most of the demolition done, if not all, and they're gonna just start moving forward with that. The next thing I wanted to mention was we received a letter in our communications about the fire hall inspections. I'm not sure who set the date, but it's at 7 o'clock, and there's a home Bills game at 7:30 that evening. So I'm not sure if that's something.
I believe they set the date.
They set it, okay.
Set the date and the time, so.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll have big screen TVs and stuff.
Okay, yeah. I was questioned by a few people from the fire department, so that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Wasn't us.
No, okay. Next, I wanted to go to the referendum for the parks. I'm wondering if the board would like to have a discussion about holding maybe some public hearings on this so everyone could come out and, they can ask us some questions, they can learn more. Because there's no elections this year for the town, we don't really have a way, besides posting stuff on our town website, to get that information out, unless we're planning on sending out a mass mailer, which would it'd be costly to do so. So I was thinking maybe we have a public hearing, try to get that information out to as many residents as possible.
Board have any problem with that?
No.
When do you want to do it? Which board meeting?
We have to wait a month, right? Or is it?
Well, how long does it take to get it advertised? But
Well, you don't need a public hearing. All you need to do is send a public notice, which would be sent to the two papers.
Okay.
And posted on the website and on the notice board here.
Okay.
So can we have it in the second September
You can
meeting?
have it 2 days, in 2 days. I mean.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Next
we have
town
it.
board meeting?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think so.
sounds good.
And then I was going to give an update on the Lancaster Speedway noise study. I went out there on Thursday. I went out last week, Thursday. And the engineer was there doing the noise study. I wasn't able to meet with the engineer. However, that was the second study. They have already done one on the dragway. This was for the speedway. And we're awaiting the results of that report at this time. There was many rain dates. I think they had mentioned there was maybe 8 of them. So the rain really held up being able to get these tests done and scheduling with the engineer to get those done.
Were you guys notified of that? So I thought they were going to notify the town board and the engineer to be there to witness this and be a part of it. I mean, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, it reached out to me and I wasn't able to go.
Yeah, he wasn't able to
Melissa
go.
was part of it, so I didn't.
I have no idea.
Okay, well, we'll have to take that as it comes, see what it is.
Melissa, can I ask you a question? They were there doing a test on a Thursday,
Yes.
not a Saturday night.
No, it was this past Thursday was the speedway.
So wasn't the agreement with them that they were going to notify you guys when they were going to do it so that we could be there? I mean, aren't they the ones that brought that up in the first
That
place?
was their,
I did notify Mr. Brooker.
Yeah,
They said he
yeah.
Well,
contacted me.
nobody talked to the town engineer? Okay.
I would say that would be on me because I didn't get a hold of Ed.
I thought they were going to do it on a race night.
It was a race night. Yeah, there was.
Oh, it was?
race. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
sorry.
It wasn't just a regular day. No, there were races
Okay,
there.
sorry,
Yeah.
all right, that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing a race night.
No, the drag one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
That's why the rain dates were.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
that's fine.
They had a week for an event. So.
All right, well, we'll deal with the report when it comes in, and then we got to go back and do it again, and then, the town will have to do it itself if it has any issues with it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
I think I spoke enough tonight. So.
Oh, okay. And then we move on to report of town board committees. Anything for the committees?
Don't have anything, but I do want to congratulate Joe Anderson, who made the bills from Lancaster. So congratulations to him and his whole family.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular.
It is to grow up loving a sports team and be able to play for them and make the rosters. Pretty cool. So congratulations.
Great. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to the pre-filed resolutions. I got number 1. Okay, be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of the town board held August 19th, 2024 be and are hereby affirmed. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 2. Be resolved that the following audited claims be and are hereby ordered, paid from their respective accounts as per abstract to be filed in the office of the town clerk by the supervisor's office, to wit, check run number 09032024. Total amount hereby authorized to be paid is $1,068,117.97. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 3, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I offer resolution number 3 for adoption. Resolved that the following building permit applications be and hereby reaffirmed. There are 69 total, 52 in the town and 17 in the village. Now therefore be it resolved that the building permit applications herein coded CSW for conditional sidewalk waiver be and are hereby reaffirmed with a waiver of the town ordinance required for sidewalks. However, the waiver is granted upon the express condition that the town of Lancaster at any future date reserves the right to order sidewalk installation at the expense of the property owner.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 4, whereas MDS Rahman El Jurat Corporation, hopefully I said that correctly, submitted an application for the construction of a 12,000 square foot abattoir for 3-day religious ceremony on a 67.87 acre parcel located at 5497 Genesee Street, SBL number 93.00-1-31 in the town of Lancaster, is prepared by Timothy M. Arlington, P.E. of Apex Consulting Survey and Engineering Services, P.C., containing a site plan drawing named Site Layout, Landscaping and Utility Plan, Grading and Erosion Control Plan, Topographical Survey and Grading Plan, Civil Engineering Details and Hot Box Details dated November 16th, 2023, and elevations and general notes dated 10/4/2022, received December 18th, 2023, by the Town of Lancaster Building Department with revised site layout, landscaping, and utility plan dated 3/12/2024, and whereas the Town of Lancaster Planning Board requested the attendance of Timothy M. Arlington, P.E. of Apex Consulting Survey and Engineering Services, P.C., to discuss the lack of SWPPP submittal and failure to produce the required information requested on 12/21/23, 5/1/24, and 7/22/24, and whereas the Planning Board voted to recommend to the Town Board at the August 7, 2024 Planning Board meeting the denial of the site plan is submitted, and now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby denies the site plan submitted by MDS Rahman, 14 Paula Creek, Cheektowaga, New York, prepared by Timothy M. Arlington, P.E. of Apex Consulting Survey and Engineering Services, P.C., containing the drawings as indicated previously, and dated November 16, 2023, and elevations and general notes dated 10/4/2022, received December 18, 2023, by the Town of Lancaster Building Department with revised site layout, landscaping, and utility plan dated 3/12/2024, and with this denial, all applicant fees are forfeited. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 5, whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster approved an application from David J. Capretto of Forbes Homes and Anthony Pandafite Pandolfi, PE of Carmina Wood Design for a 40-plus single-family home subdivision on a 50.3 acre parcel located at 6061 Broadway Street, SBL number 116.00-2-24.1 on the north side of William Street, with new utilities including street lighting, public water, public sanitary sewer, and storm sewer to be installed along the new roadways to serve all of the proposed lots within the town of Lancaster, Erie County, New York on September 18th, 2023, and whereas Town Code of the Town of Lancaster, Chapter 400-38H8, filing a final plat, any subdivision plat not so filed or recorded within 90 days of the date upon which such plat is approved or considered approved by reasons of failure of the town board to act shall become null and void unless the particular circumstances of said applicant warrants the town board to grant an extension which shall not exceed 2 additional periods of 90 days. Such an extension must be applied for in writing to the town board within 30 days of the expiration of the approval. And whereas Anthony Pandolfino, PE Carmina Woods Design, was made aware of the timeline in the extension process via email from Matt Ficcione, Code Enforcement Officer of the Town of Lancaster, and no such document was received requesting an extension, and no such extension was granted by the Town Board. And whereas the filing of the Fieldstream subdivision as recorded by the Erie County Clerk's Office occurred on May 14, 2024, and whereas consideration was given in regard to the date that the water line release was signed and forwarded to the applicant February 6, 2024, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby rescinds the final plat approval of the Fieldstream subdivision, and be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
No.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
No.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Okay, thank you. Resolution number 6, Councilmember Studley.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. Whereas by email approval dated August 26, 2024, Director of Administration and Finance, Nicholas Swanson, has approved the request from Bruce Stutz, Parks Crew Chief for the Town of Lancaster Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department for the recommended adjustments to the town's 2024 adopted budget. Now therefore be it resolved that the following budget amendments be and are hereby approved in the 2024 adopted budget of the Town of Lancaster. So transferring $3,800 from Parks Motorized Equipment to Parks Rentals.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Burkhart, number 7, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I'm offering Resolution 7 for adoption. Whereas Jennifer L. Strong, Town Attorney of the Town of Lancaster, has prepared a quitclaim deed to transfer ownership of the Hunters Creek Detention Basin known as Zero Rue Madeline Way, SBL number 126.08-3-34, totaling 2.1772 acres to the Town of Lancaster. Whereas the detention basin was to be transferred to the Town of Lancaster by the Hunters Creek subdivision developer Burke Brothers in 1998 at the closure of the PIPs. And whereas the transfer did not occur and the land was lost by the developer to the County of Erie through a tax foreclosure by the Director of Real Property and Finance. And whereas the land was then sold to Michael Trapinski of 172 Siebert Road in a tax foreclosure sale, who later found that the maintenance was not within his ability to maintain. Now, therefore, be it resolved that it is in the best interest of the ownership of the detention basin in the Hunters Creek subdivision to be in the name of the Town of Lancaster, and that the Town of Lancaster will obtain the parcel at no cost to the resident and will maintain the detention pond on behalf of the residents. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Schroeder, number 8, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I move resolution number 8. Whereas Director of Administration and Finance Nicholas Swanson has approved the request from Carmen Ciccarelli, Maintenance Crew Chief for the Town of Lancaster's Building Maintenance and Repair Department, for the recommended adjustments to the town's 2024 adopted budget. Now therefore be it resolved that the following budget amendments be and are hereby approved in the 2024 adopted budget of the Town of Lancaster. In the building fund, we're going to transfer $44,000 from utilities and electric to resurfacing materials.
We have a second.
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 9 has been tabled. We're moving on to resolution number 10, which is mine. Whereas the Town of Lancaster is replacing existing water mains on Erie Street from Pavement Road to Schwartz Road under contract TLN-16, and whereas existing hydrant spacing within the project limits does not conform to current Erie County Water Authority specifications, and one additional hydrant is required to be installed on Erie Street to provide for proper fire protection. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Town of Lancaster shall be responsible for payment of annual hydrant rental charges to the Erie County Water Authority for one lease-managed additional hydrant being installed under this project, which charges shall be funded by the respective hydrant district. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is directed to forward a certified copy of this resolution to Mr. Leonard Kowalski, P.E., Erie County Water Authority. Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. On number 11, Councilmember Schroeder, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I move resolution number 11. Whereas the Town of Lancaster has previously entered into an agreement with the Lancaster Central School District to operate swimming, playground, gymnasium, recreational, and educational programs on school sites and in school buildings, which will expire according to its terms on August 31st, 2024. And whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster desires to renew this agreement for a 5-year term commencing July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2029. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor be and is hereby directed to execute a renewal agreement between the Town of Lancaster and Lancaster Central School District pursuant to the terms and conditions as outlined in the agreement, subject to the approval of the town attorney to utilize school district sites and buildings for the various town-sponsored activities.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 12. Whereas William Shutt Associates, P.C., the Town of Lancaster's consulting engineer, by email dated August 23rd, 2024, has requested that the town board authorize an invitation to bid for the water system improvements, contract number TLN-16, Consolidated Water District Water System Improvements on Erie Street from Pavement Road to Schwartz Road within the Town of Lancaster. And whereas the town board has given the review and consideration to the request for water system improvements, contract number TLN-16, Consolidated Water District Water System Improvements, Erie Street, within the Town of Lancaster, and deems it in the public interest to invite public bids in conformance with General Municipal Law, Section 103 of the State of New York. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby invites public bids for the Water System Improvements Project, contract number TLN-16, Consolidated Water District Water Systems Improvements on Erie Street from Pavement Road to Schwartz Road within the Town of Lancaster. Said bids to be in conformance with the plans and specifications which are available for inspection at Avalon Document Services at www.avalonplanroom.com. William Shutt Associates, P.C., 37 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York. Construction Exchange of Buffalo in Western New York. And Dodge Reports at www.construction.com. That's all there is for it, huh? Beginning at 9 a.m. local time on September 5th, 2024. Be it further resolved that bids are to be received in the office of the town clerk, 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, no later than 10 a.m. local time on September 24th, 2024, and open thereafter. And if I could go back for a second, The Construction Exchange of Buffalo and Western New York can be found at www.connexbuff.com. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Okay, resolution number 13. Whereas Bruce Stutz, Parks Crew Chief for the town of Lancaster, by letter dated August 26, 2024, has recommended the appointment of the following individuals to the following part-time permanent positions in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department. Now therefore be it resolved that the following individuals are hereby appointed to the following part-time permanent positions in the town of Lancaster Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department, working not more than 19 3/4 hours per week, and that these being part-time positions provides no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time employees. We have George Besch, Alexandra Balat, Lane Miklas, Brianna Graham, Annalise, thank you, Petzalides, and, correct? Okay, good. And they're all going to be $16 an hour, except for George Besch, who is the tennis supervisor, and is doing a great job. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 14, Councilmember Studley.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I offer Resolution 14 for its adoption. Whereas by email dated August 21st, 2024, the Town Attorney, Jennifer Strong, requested permission of the Lancaster Town Board to declare outdated law books in the Town Attorney's office and in the storage room as surplus. And whereas the said law books, specifically the volumes of the New York Consolidated Laws Service, have not been updated since 2009 and are therefore not fit for legal research. And whereas the town board has given due consideration to the request of the town attorney and deems it judicious to declare the beforementioned law books to be surplus equipment. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby declares the beforementioned volumes of the New York Consolidated Laws Service to be surplus equipment as the town no longer has use for them and authorizes that they be recycled or discarded.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 15, whereas Bruce Stutz, Parks Crew Chief for the town of Tonawanda, by letter dated August 27th, 2024, has recommended the appointment of the following individuals to the following part-time permanent positions in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department. Now, no, I didn't. Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We're in Lancaster.
Is this Lancaster?
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong building. My apologies. Let's start all over. Whereas Bruce Stutz, Parks Crew Chief, well, maybe that was Bruce, leaving, for the town of Lancaster by letter dated August 27, 2024, has recommended the appointment of the following individuals to the following part-time permanent positions in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following individuals are hereby appointed to the following part-time permanent positions in the town of Lancaster Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department, working not more than 19 3/4 hours per week, and that these being part-time position provides no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time employees. And we have Kim Potawar, Richard Fry, Allison Cordell, Hannah Wozniak, Catherine Wolkowski, Molly Mahoney, Lincoln Conahan, Andrew Shepard, Elizabeth Steffens, Brandon Bach, I believe, Amelia Stack, James Wolkowski, Casey Mahoney, Sophia Pilato, and Connor Powell. Page 1. Madison Ploss, Claire Devine, and Addison Grimm. Mostly we have one recreation instructor making $35 an hour.
May I check that she's actually the aerobics instructor?
Oh, that's the aerobics
That's
instructor?
why she's
Okay, so we're going to change that?
swim aerobics instructor.
Oh, does it matter? No, it's still
It doesn't
recreation
matter.
instructor?
The title
Okay.
recreation instructor, but you can see a difference in pay. I wanted to make note that she's a specialized aerobics instructor.
Great, and then Richard Fry is in charge of
Supervisor.
for the lifeguards at $25 an hour. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. May I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 16, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I offer Resolution 16 for its adoption, whereas Mark Franchini, 135 East Maplemere Road, Williamsville, New York, has applied for a dumping permit for property situated on Zero Transit Road, SBLs 115.09-2-1, 115-09-2-9, and 115.09-2-2 within the town of Lancaster pursuant to Chapter 387-8 of the Code of the Town of Lancaster, and whereas the application was referred to the building inspector and town engineer for review and recommendation was, whereas the town engineer has completed his review of this application, and by letter dated August 21st, 2024, the town engineer made a recommendation to the town board to deny the application based on the knowledge that the site contains state and federal wetlands, and whereas the building inspector has completed his review of this application, and by letter dated August 23rd, 2024, the building inspector has made a recommendation to the town board based on the knowledge that without the site plan showing drainage and fill areas, a topographical plan showing present and proposed grade, and a joint ACOE-DEC wetland permit, the application should be denied. And now therefore be it resolved that Mark Franchini, 135 East Maplemere Road, Williamsville, be and is hereby denied authorization to dump and dispose of materials outside permitted sanitary landfills within the town of Lancaster, namely on premises owned by the applicant situated on Zero Transit Road. Said dumping will not be allowed by the applicant on the above referenced properties. And be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Burkhart, number 17 and 18, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I'm offering Resolution 17 and 18 for adoption. Whereas by letter dated August 27, 2024, John Pilato, Highway Superintendent for the Town of Lancaster, is requesting the necessary grinding and removal of brush at 6219 Genesee Street, Lancaster. Whereas 3 vendors submitted quotes, with the lowest being $19,499 from Lardon Construction, Lake Avenue, Blaisdell. Whereas by letter dated August 27, 2024, the Highway Superintendent has recommended awarding the quote for grinding and brush removal to Lardon Construction Corp. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby awards Lardon Construction the contract for grinding and brush removal at 6219 Genesee Street, Lancaster, the lowest bid in an amount not to exceed $19,499, which will be paid for with funds from the town's highway budget line 02-8160-0412, and be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to execute the contract upon receipt and approval of the required documents and insurance certificates by the town's attorney office.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
Resolution 18, whereas the Town of Lancaster Highway Superintendent John Pilato, by letter dated August 26, 2024, has advised the Town Board that the Highway Department no longer has use for a 2006 ODB trailer-mounted vacuum leaf loader with approximately 1,569 hours. And it is asking for the town to deem this item to be surplus equipment and permit it to be offered on an online auction. And whereas the town board has given due consideration to the request of the highway superintendent and deems it a judicious decision to declare the before mentioned 2006 ODB trailer-mounted vacuum leaf loader to be surplus equipment and permit placement of said item on an online auction. Now therefore it be resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby grants the request of John Pilato, highway superintendent, and declares the 2006 trailer-mounted vacuum leaf loader to be surplus equipment and authorize the highway superintendent to place said item up for public bid at an online auction with Auctions International, Big Tree Road, East Aurora, New York, beginning September 5th, 2024, and concluding on September 25th, 2024, with the funds received from said auction to be made payable to the town of Lancaster and delivered to the town supervisor's office.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Resolution number 19, whereas Kevin B. Kirk, RA of Uniland Development, submitted an application for Eastport Commerce Center post-frame industrial complex consisting of 6 new industrial warehouse buildings for a total of approximately 109,884 square feet on a 128.04 acre parcel located at 4106 Walden Avenue, SBL number 94.00-4-7.1, in the town of Lancaster, as prepared by Christopher Wood, PE of Carmina Wood Design, containing a site plan, drawing number C01, C002, C-100, C-101, C-102, C-200, C-300, C-301, C-302, C-400, C-401, C-402, C-403, C-404, L-100, and LP-100, dated February 23rd, 24, received February 27th, 24, and an as-built survey dated December 12th, 2002, along with a topographical survey dated June 6, 2000, and had revised drawings for C-200, C-300, C-302, C-400, and C-401 dated May 3rd, 2024, and May 24th, 2024 were revised per town comments and received May 30th, 2024, along with C-100 and C-101 were revised per town comments on May 3rd, 2024, and June 18th, 2024, received June 20th, 2024 by the Town of Lancaster Building Department, and whereas the town acting as lead agency duly considered the request for the project, including the recommendation of the Town of Lancaster Planning Board in conformance with SEQR, State Environmental Quality Review Regulations, and on July 15th, 2024, the Town Board issued a negative declaration, and whereas the Planning Board recommended to the Town Board on June 26, 2024, the approval of the site plan as submitted and in conformance with town building and zoning codes, and whereas the Town of Lancaster Planning Board requested that a landscape maintenance agreement and a stormwater control facility maintenance agreement be agreed to by both parties and were filed with the Erie County Clerk's Office on August 20th, 2024. Now, therefore, it be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby approves the site plan submitted by Kevin B. Kirk of Uniland Development for all the different drawings as indicated previously, dated February 23rd, 2024, received February 27th, 2024, and as-built survey dated December 12th, 2002, along with a topographical survey dated June 6, 2000, and the revised drawings as indicated previously, dated May 3rd, 2024, and May 24th, 2024, were revised per town comments and received May 30th, 2024, along with C-100 and 101 were revised per town comments on May 3rd, 2024, and June 18th, 2024, received June 20th, 2024 by the Town of Lancaster Building Department. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 20, Councilmember Burkhardt.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. I'm offering Resolution 20 for adoption. Whereas Kevin Kirk, TCC North, Inc., 800-850 Eastport Drive, Lancaster, has applied to the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster for a permit for private improvements upon real property in the Town of Lancaster within 4106 Walden. And whereas the Town Engineer of the Town of Lancaster has certified on the following permit application that he has reviewed the improvement plans and permit application for the installation of the private improvements requested and that they conform to the ordinances of the Town of Lancaster. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the private improvement permit application number 859 for 4106 Walden Avenue, Lancaster, which is a permit for private improvements for construction of 6 warehouse buildings, parking, drive aisles, driveway to Lancaster Parkway, utilities, and stormwater facilities on an approximately 11-acre site.
We have a second
Second.
on the question, on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 21, whereas John Pilato, Highway Superintendent, of the Town of Lancaster, by letter dated August 27, 2024, has appointed Donald Giuliano to fill the open position of Automotive Mechanic Crew Chief in the Town of Lancaster Highway Department pursuant to New York State Highway Law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby recognizes the appointment of Donald Giuliano of Lancaster, New York, to the position of Automotive Mechanic Crew Chief in the Town of Lancaster Highway Department, effective September 4th, 2024, contingent upon approval by Erie County Department of Personnel, and that such appointment shall be subject to all applicable provisions of the collective negotiation agreement between the Town of Lancaster and the CSEA Blue Collar Union and all applicable provisions of law. And be it further resolved that Donald Giuliano of Lancaster, New York is hereby appointed to the full-time position of Automotive Mechanic Crew Chief in the Town of Lancaster Highway Department at an hourly rate of $38.28. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do we have a second?
Second.
And Donald is with us here. Just one second. On the question, on the roll. Go ahead.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Congratulations. I had to wait till it was voted on, not that I doubted it, but, okay, congratulations. Okay, resolution number 22. Whereas in 2022 and 2023, the Town of Lancaster, the Town, and Cayuga Heights Holding Corporation, LLC, Cayuga Heights, negotiated a conservation easement, Forever Wild, for a portion of a parcel identified as 6061 Broadway, Town of Lancaster, part of SBL 116.00-2-24.1, the easement granting the town a conservation easement and extinguishing all rights to develop the eased area as part of the town's review and approval of the Field Stream subdivision project. And whereas said conservation easement area is shown on the final plan for the Field Stream subdivision, and whereas the easement was signed by Cayuga Heights in July 2023 and forwarded to the Town of Lancaster with the clear expectation that the town would approve and sign the easement, and whereas the town appears to have misplaced the original signed easement document before signing and approving the same, and whereas the town recently located the original easement document signed by Cayuga Heights and would now like to remedy its oversight and approve and sign the easement, and whereas the town board has reviewed the easement, and whereas the parcel known as 6061 Broadway, Town of Lancaster, of which the eased area forms a part, has been sold by Cayuga Heights to Field Stream Estates, LLC, the developer of the Field Stream subdivision, who submitted the final plan to the town showing the eased area, and whereas seeker was properly completed by the town on June 20th, 2023, now therefore be it resolved by the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster, hereby board authorizes and directs the supervisor to execute the easement and to cause the same to be filed in the office of the Erie County Clerk. Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes, and for the record, I didn't know about this 150 days ago, or I would have dealt with it 150 days ago. As soon as I found out about it, I dealt with it. Okay. Now our suspended resolution, I am,
Excuse me?
I
Supervisor?
know. I know, sir.
oh boy. Yeah. See, I should be in town. Okay, I am requesting a suspension of the necessary rules for immediate consideration of the following resolution. Do I have a,
So moved.
thank you, and do we have a second?
Yeah. I think Dawn did it.
Okay, very good.
I have to call it roll.
Yep, can we have a roll?
Oh, yes, I seconded it, sorry.
Okay.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Okay. Whereas Diane M. Terranova, Town Clerk for the Town of Lancaster, by email dated August 30th, 2024, has recommended the appointment of the following individual to the following part-time permanent position. Now therefore be it resolved that the following individual is hereby appointed to the following part-time permanent position in the Town of Lancaster, Town Clerk's office, working not more than 19 3/4 hours per week, and that this being a part-time position provides no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time permanent employee. And we have Jacqueline Jezrowski, clerk, at $21.85 an hour. Was that close?
Jazorski.
That's what I said. Okay. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman.
Yes.
Trying to trick
I'm not
Councilmember
major.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Okay, and that concludes our pre-filed and suspended resolution. And now we're going to do a presentation of communications by the town clerk.
Is Mr. Zorski here?
Is she? No. Part-timers, we generally don't require, but the full-timers, we try to get them here, force them to come down. But if any part-timers want to come down here and be acknowledged when they're appointed, that'd be great. Okay. Communications and reports. 432 is Planning and Zoning Committee. 433, received and filed. 434, received and filed. 435, received and filed. 436, Planning and Zoning Committee. 437 and 438 are also Planning and Zoning Committee. 439, resolution tonight. 440, received and filed. 441, received and filed. 442, Planning and Zoning Committee. 443 through 445 are resolutions tonight. 446, received and filed. 447, Planning and Zoning Committee. 448, Town Board. 449 was a resolution tonight, as were 450, 451, 452, 453, and 454, again, resolutions tonight. 455 is going to the Office of Emergency Management. 456 was resolution tonight. 457, Planning and Zoning Committee. 458, Code Enforcement. 459, Director of Finance, received and filed. Okay. Now we come to the point of the meeting where any individual who wants to be heard by the town board on any subject pertaining to the town of Lancaster will be allowed to do so for a total of 30 minutes. The procedures are raise his or her hand and be recognized by the supervisor, give his or her name and address to the town clerk, speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided, and speak once for 5 minutes or less unless the town board grants a speaker an extension of this time limit. Do we have anybody in the audience tonight who wants to be heard on any subject matter before the town board? Yes, sir.
My name is Vince Tobia, 712 Pleasantview. My question was with the new easement or Eastport going up across the street from our houses. I was glad to hear Councilmember Schroeder say the light pollution. Are they doing anything in Pleasantview for the homes that are there? Is there anything in the plan? I've called the building, but I moved in October.
Uh-huh.
By the time I found out about it, the planning board had already voted. I called the building department, and they said you're gonna have to address the town board meeting, so here I am. Everything's a little late because we moved in so late. Are they doing anything for light pollution as far as fencing or trees or any, because we have, if they're gonna construct these buildings right across the street from our house, my house, the 2 front windows are the bedrooms. I have a son that has autism, works midnight, so I just, if there's cars and trucks flooding headlights into the window every day, it could be an issue. I didn't know if there was anything in the plan that you know of as far as a fence or...
The trees they're replanting there, right, Matt? Is that,
There's an isometric, photometric plan that was provided to the planning board by the developer that will identify where the lights will cast, but it doesn't prevent you from seeing the light bulb. So you're not going to get the beam of light shining across the street, but you are going to see a light bulb where there wasn't one before. And there's also a landscape buffer along the north property line to buffer the residents across the street to
On
protect.
Pleasant View?
Right, on Pleasant View Drive, and there's a filed maintenance agreement for that portion of the landscaping.
Yeah.
It must be maintained. When a tree dies, it gets replaced in kind.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure lights were not gonna be shining in the house all day and night. Okay, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody else in the audience want to be heard on any matter? Yes, sir.
I am extremely disappointed in this town board, except for you, Councilmember Schroeder. I thought, Bob, that the last town board supervisor, and I couldn't wait for this, but I never thought I would be disappointed like I am. Where town codes, municipal home rule law, local laws and ordinances are meaningless. Matt might as well throw his code book away. And everybody that's in the department head and works for this town shouldn't even be worried about being brought up on charges. Because if certain town council members can vote against, I just can't believe it, that anybody, I mean, this is the attorney did this. It's a legal document. Meaningless. I just can't. It's the same old, same old. Last time it was only you being the majority on the last town council. Now you just got Dawn. Pathetic. Break the laws? Who cares?
Okay, do we have anybody else in the audience who wants to be heard at this point on any matter before the town board? Okay, seeing no hands raised at this point, I'm going to make a motion to close this meeting. Do I have a motion to close?
Motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Can I say that, or you got to say it?
All in favor?
Okay, thank you.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.
Okay.
Yeah, I realized.
Okay,
Literally.
Yeah. No executive sessions.